Now, I want us to check about Judas. If you read Matthew 27 verse 5, an account says Judas hanged himself. If you read Acts chapter 1 verse 18, an account says that Judas fell and burst open. Listen again. If you read Matthew 27 verse 5, the account says that Judas hanged himself. But if you read Acts chapter 1 verse 18, the account makes us to understand that Judas burst open. He fell and burst open. So which one was which? How can one account say that the same event, but Judas hanged himself and died? But another account will also say that Judas fell and burst open. Is this contradictory? Well, I want us to read together. Now, Matthew 27 verse 5, you read, "Then he threw down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hung himself." So this account is telling us that Judas hanged himself. But in Acts chapter 1 verse 18, it reads, "Now this man purchased a field with the wages of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst open in the middle, and all his entrails gushed out." Now, if you check out this, it's simple. It is complementary. Judas hanged himself, then later on he fell down and he burst open. It is very simple as ABC. So as Peter was giving the account, as Luke was recording, Luke in Acts is making us to understand that after Judas hanged himself, he fell down and then he burst open. But Matthew was recording that, yes, he hanged himself. So I've already made you to understand that whenever you are interpreting the scriptures, you have to interpret synthetically. You have to interpret harmoniously. That is it. You have to also interpret lexically. Don't just be reading one scripture and be thinking that that is all. In each book, there are rules. If you take mathematics book, there are rules. If you do not apply the rules, you will fail in mathematics. If you take geography book, there are rules. Even when someone writes a story book, there are rules binding that story book. If you focus on the prefaces and the rest, you understand it. The same is the Bible. Every book on this earth has rules binding the book. And therefore, please, if you do not really understand the science of interpreting the scriptures, you may think it contradicts, but it does not. Based on some instances, the same event, but there should be a way of presenting it for at that time those people listening to be able to grasp the concept. So, Judas hanged himself, fell down, and burst open, according to Matthew 27 verse 5, and then Acts chapter 1 verse 18.